Hello, this is Marcus Guiliano from MarcusG.tv. I'm a chef on a mission. Right, Rachel?
Yes.
And I now own that domain name.
I know.
And that was not available before that domain name.
That's crazy.
I've looked for chefonamission.com for a while. It was not available. I looked at it today. I saw it. I went in. I swooped it up.
You should. I think
chefonamission.com. Don't know what I'm going to do on there.
But as long as you have it and it's yours,
you can go to healthychefdude.com, marcusguiliano.com, and chefonamission.com. It's
and
all the same.
MarcusG.tv.
MarcusG.tv, which is another whole website. I have like 40 domain names.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Perfect.
Not counting the blogs, because I have 30 different blog names.
Right.
So I try to get out there.
That's good.
Chef on a mission. My mission is to bring better food. Better food to restaurants, to people.
Yeah.
To educate people.
Good.
Genetically modified foods, GMOs. Genetic engineering has been on the forefront the last 15 years, since the mid-90s. And I remember back in the late 90s, I would go to the farmer's market in Colorado, in Denver, Cherry Creek Farmer's Market, the green market there, and have petitions signed. Try to get petitions signed to stop the planting of genetically modified crops there in Colorado. And we met with a lot of resistance. People were going to buy the organic food, the fresh local food, but they really didn't understand what genetically modified was, and they weren't really sure, so they thought there was some government-approved like thing. That of course it's government-approved, but that doesn't mean anything, because we all know the FDA, USDA, all these people are just the biggest losers out there when it comes to looking out for our safety. The consumers, they just look out for their own safety, and it's payday for themselves. And it doesn't matter what level of government it is, they're all looking for their own payday, you know. But really on that big national level, when you start involving Monsanto and these big pharmaceutical companies, it's strictly payday for these companies, nothing to do with our health. So genetically modified foods, where they take the food, it's different than hybriding, first of all. Hybriding's been done for hundreds of years, where they take, okay, let's say, this tomato and that tomato and stick them close together and hybrid them together so they get some characteristics from that one and characteristics from that one, and you know, and they crossbreed them through the pollen and stuff like that, and you know, just like, you know, how you take two different dogs from two different breeds and crossbreed them. That's what a hybrid is, okay? Now, Monsanto, along with some other companies out there, Monsanto's the biggest though, they've gone and taken it to the ultimate step where they take the genes and they splice the genes with other things, other characteristics. Like, for instance, in Texas a few years ago, and some of this stuff isn't approved, but in Texas they put rat genes in lettuce strictly for flavor.
No, they didn't.
To see if it would enhance the flavor, yes. Well,
I'm a little disgusted.
Yeah, it would do something to the flavor, rat genes in your lettuce, of course it would.
That's gross.
They would take soul genes and put it into strawberries or tomatoes to increase the cold season for tomatoes. Do you know a lot of tomatoes are grown in Canada in the wintertime in hot houses up north? Because they've adjusted these tomatoes to be able to do that. But now we're talking about taking animals and mixing it with fruits and veggies. That's one thing. But now,
isn't that like interbreeding?
What they've done, Rachel, and this is not new. This is 10 years old. This kind of stuff. They've taken the chemical pesticides and spliced them into the actual genes. Phones are out of control here today.
I think
they've got it.
Yeah.
So they've actually spliced these chemicals into the genes. So now they can make claims like, we don't have to spray.
It's already in there.
Spray the chemicals on the land anymore. Good, they got it. We don't have to spray the chemicals on the land anymore because the chemicals are in the corn, the chemicals are in the potatoes, and they're 100% of the time toxic and leaching out these chemicals. Or they'll take it one step further and put in like they call it Roundup Ready. Just some news on Roundup Ready beets, right?
Right.
You got some news on Roundup Ready beets.
Yes.
So they'll take the opposite enzymes for Roundup, where you can take Roundup and spray everything in your farm with Roundup. The only thing that doesn't die are the beets or the corn, whatever it is, Roundup Ready crops. They'll take the opposite enzymes, splice it into the plants, and now everything's that plant is immune to Roundup. You ever spray Roundup on your own yard? I can't stand the stuff. You spray it kills things for a year, 2 years, 3. I mean, just
Isn't that
kills.
what you spray on your weeds?
You spray Roundup on your weeds. Now they can take, then it creates a brown spot. Like here in New York along the highway, they're too lazy to go pick the weeds. So they just take the chemical and they just spray it like where all the
Yeah, and then you
guardrails
like,
are.
can't let your dog near it.
They spray they spray it, and you see all these around telephone poles and around all the guardrails. It's just one patch of brown for the whole year. Nothing grows there. Well, they take this and spray the whole farm down with this. But now what happens to the certain weeds that actually live and reproduce? Super strains. They've now created these super strains of weeds that aren't resistant to Roundup. Plus all the toxic chemicals in Roundup that you're actually consuming into your body. Who in their right mind would spray corn down with Roundup and then wash it off and cook it and eat it? If you saw that happening, you wouldn't eat it. It's disgusting. So of course the FDA, this stuff is good for us, we need this and that. That's garbage. This is why I'm on a mission. This right here is one of the reasons I'm on a mission. Well now, when you go to the grocery store, there's 70% of all of our foods, fruits and veggies, that are genetically modified. That's a massive amount of stuff. So if you, chances are, you walk into the store and you pick up 7 out of 10 boxes you pick up are going to have genetically modified. Now chances are, if you're in the processed food section and you're picking up boxes, chances are 10 out of 10 are going to be modified, unless you're buying something that's organic, because organic certifications standards do not allow genetically modified. Now, can some get in there? Of course some can get in there, because it's not a perfect world and cross-contamination and things like that. And Monsanto's such a dirty company, because they've even taken the reproductive genes, Rachel, out of a lot of these plants, where you can't grow the seeds. And when you buy the seeds, you're not allowed to grow the seeds anyway. They want to, like, they've patented life here.
That's monopolizing.
They've you know, they're really like an unethical Mother Nature.
That's crazy.
Is what this is. I mean, it's really gotten way out of hand. So if you're concerned and you go to the grocery store and you're looking for foods that don't have these in it, there's good news. Android and iPhone users, you can now download something called True Food, and it's by the True Food Network. Okay? Best part is it's free.
It is
Goes
free.
right on your iPhone.
Right.
It'll tell you everything, break it down by category, by dairy, veggies, and everything, of things that might not be, that shouldn't be genetically modified, and things that chances are that they are. Now keep in mind, they've not gone and tested each of these items, but what they have done is they've gotten statements from the companies, or they've done some research to understand of the more popular genetically modified items. So you can go on there, check the different groups. You can go to fruits and veggies, meat, fish, eggs. I mean, yogurt's going to have genetically modified stuff in it because they put bovine growth hormone in dairy.
Right.
So baby foods, infant formula, soy is one of the most commonly altered things. Soy and corn. There's probably no real soy and corn left in the world. I mean, it's
That's
pathetic.
Crazy. It's
either been hybrided or genetically modified. Cereals and breakfast bars, baked goods. You can go all down this whole list and just keep going and now shop better. Now, there has been not any long-term studies on genetically modifying, but all the top health nutritionists, doctors in the country are saying that it really alters your system, the way you eat it, your digestive flora, and there's really some indications that, pointing towards cancer. I read some studies yesterday when they fed it to rats and other animals, that there's strong correlations, strong links with certain types of cancer when you're eating genetically modified foods. Now, of course, cancer in humans can take 10, 15, 20 years to do, and of course they haven't done these safety studies for that long. They do a safety study for a year, 6 months, or just go and pass the stuff without these safety studies. And now all of a sudden this stuff is in our in our grocery store shelves, in our restaurants, in our baby food. And here's the worst thing, Rachel, it's not labeled.
Yeah, crazy.
You knew that, Josh, right?
Yeah.
Josh knows all this. Josh is a chef here. Josh knows all that.
Craziness.
What's happening, Josh?
I gotta go to the farmer's market. Yeah.
You're going to the farmer's market?
I gotta go to Barthel's.
Oh, Barthel's? I don't need anything. A watermelon.
A watermelon?
Grab a watermelon.
Oh, okay.
That would be great. Thanks, Josh.
I'll be back.
So, nothing's labeled. So you walk into the grocery store and nothing is labeled. Now, by the way, other countries, they label the stuff. By the way, other countries don't take our stuff because of what we do to our food. There's a lot of European nations that will not touch our produce because it's just not, they don't want any part of this. So.
Who would?
Exactly, who would? So whether it's safe or not, you have the right to know. You as consumers have the right to know whether it's safe or not. You might think that this is the best thing because you've read all the positive things on it. Well, guess what? If you think it is one of the best things and it's going to save America and save the world, then at least you need to at least have the stance, well, gee, you at least need to write it on the labels and understand, so people can understand what they're eating, so they choose. Because with the internet now, people can educate themselves. They can look at the pros and cons themselves and hopefully make a smart enough decision to say, okay, this is hype, this isn't hype, this is the story, this isn't the story. So, again.
But also realize everybody can put something on the internet.
Anybody can put anything on the internet. Like I can put anything on the internet. Anybody can put anything on there. So again, True Food application for iPhone and Android users.
Has 4.5 stars, really great.
Yes, from the True Food Network. And I forgot the people that were the ones who were behind it. How could I forget these people? I want to call the True Food Shopping Guide. I found this through Living Maxwell. Living Maxwell does some blogs and everything, some video blogs. I found it through him. Just discovered him today. livingmaxwell.com.
Awesome.
So
they were really
thanks,
cool.
Living Maxwell. I found them on Facebook and watched one of his videos and saw a Twitter link or I don't know where I saw them. I saw them on social media. So I'm Marcus Guiliano. I'm chef on a mission. Mission for better food to educate everybody.
Now we have
Speak
the
up.
domain
It's
name.
your food. Got the domain name now.